Picture this. It is a Tuesday morning. You walk to your kitchen, make coffee, and realize there is no energy bill arriving this month. Not because you forgot to open it, because the building itself eliminated it. Your food is growing 50 feet from your bedroom. Your slab held last night's heat through until sunrise. Your roof collected 200 gallons of rain while you slept. That is not a fantasy. That is applied building science, being executed right now on rural properties across the American South, the Mountain West, and the Upper Midwest, inside metal frame barndominiums that cost significantly less per square foot than a conventional stick-built home. The average American household spent $1,691 on electricity in 2024, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. The average grocery bill for a family of four runs $1,200 to $1,500 per month. Grid outages are increasing in frequency. Construction costs for conventional homes keep climbing. There is another way to build, and you can build it on American soil for less than you think. Here are 5 designs proving it right now. Before we get into the designs, do me one quick favor. Tap subscribe and ring the bell. I break down real barndominium costs and design truths every single week. Let's get into it. Design 1. The integrated Glass-Gable greenhouse barndominium. A 2,200 square foot steel frame barndominium where the north gable end is sealed with twin-wall polycarbonate panel, a translucent rigid glazing that passes light while insulating, and a south-facing lean-to greenhouse runs the full length of the structure. The specs: 2,200 square feet of conditioned living space. The south lean-to adds 480 square feet of growing area, passively warmed in winter by shared thermal mass with the main structure. Twin-wall polycarbonate installed runs $18 to $28 per square foot per RS means 2025 construction data. Commercial glazing runs $60 to $90. Full build range: $280,000 to $340,000 turnkey, lean-to, glazing, and a basic raised bed irrigation system included. You wake up before sunrise and walk to the glass panel door connecting your living room to the lean-to. The air smells like wet soil and basil. Outside it is 32 degrees. In here it is 58, warm enough for winter greens. You harvest a handful of kale for breakfast without putting on a coat. Here is how the building earns its keep. The south lean-to captures solar gain, converting sunlight to heat inside the glazed space. That heat conducts through the shared masonry knee wall into the main structure during winter, cutting your heating load. In summer, operable ridge vents exhausted heat before it migrates inside. The polycarbonate north gable diffuses light into living area without direct glare or heat penalty. Your building geometry is doing thermal work. No compressor, no combustion. The honest challenge: polycarbonate yellows. Quality twin-wall panels carry a 10-year UV warranty. After 15 years, budget $8,000 to $14,000 for panel replacement on a gable this size. Most barndominium content does not mention that. Factor it into your 20-year cost model. My favorite feature: at golden hour, the polycarbonate north gable glows amber from the inside. From the road, this building looks lit from within like a lantern. That costs you nothing extra. Design 2. The passive solar stack barndominium. A thermally self-cooling and self-heating barndominium that uses south-facing glazing, a poured concrete thermal mass floor, and clear-story windows. Windows positioned high near the roofline to move air and store heat with zero mechanical assistance. The specs: 1,950 square feet, poured concrete slab, minimum 4 inches thick, sealed and polished. Your thermal battery. South window wall at a 60% glazing ratio. Clear story vents at the ridge, operable, positioned to create a stack effect. Cool air enters low, warm air exits high. Spray foam insulation, R38 roof, R21 walls minimum. Passive solar upgrades add $12,000 to $22,000 to a base build. Full build range: $220,000 to $290,000 in most non-coastal U.S. markets. It is a July afternoon, 104 degrees outside. You have not touched the thermostat in 4 days. The sealed concrete floor absorbs heat all night and is releasing it slowly at its own pace. The clear story vents are pulling a quiet draft through the ridge. The house is 81 degrees. Not perfect, livable, without a single kilowatt spent. In winter, the low sun angle charges a slab directly through the south glass. The slab stores the heat for 8 to 12 hours and releases it after sundown. This is called thermal lag. In summer, the higher sun angle means a roof overhang, calculated specifically for your latitude. Shades the glass before direct rays reach the floor. The stack effect does the rest. This is U.S. Department of Energy documented building physics. It requires geometry and mass, not a battery or a compressor. The honest challenge: this design performs brilliantly in climate zones 3 through 6. In South Florida or coastal Louisiana, where humidity holds above 80% for months, passive cooling alone is not enough. You will need supplemental dehumidification. Ignoring that reality leads to mold. Know your climate zone before you commit. My favorite feature: the polished concrete floor. $3 to $8 per square foot to seal and polish. Cheaper than quality hardwood. Part of your mechanical system, and it looks like something from an architecture magazine. Design 3, the Aquaponics core Barndominium. A 2,000 square foot barndominium built around a central enclosed grow room that functions as the structural spine of the building, housing a closed-loop aquaponics system where fish waste feeds plants and plants clean the water for the fish. The specs: 2,000 square feet of living space flanking a 400 square foot insulated central grow room, climate-controlled separately at 65 to 75 degrees year-round. 2 500-gallon tilapia tanks. 200 square feet of deep water culture grow beds. Plants suspended in rafts floating on nutrient-rich water. LED grow lighting. 1,200 to 1,600 watts total draw. System hardware cost: $14,000 to $28,000 depending on automation level. Full build range: $310,000 to $390,000. Monthly protein output at steady state: 15 to 25 pounds of fish per month, per University of the Virgin Islands published aquaponics yield data. You walk through a glass partition from your kitchen into a room that smells faintly of minerals and green growth. Rows of lettuce, Swiss chard, herbs, and tomatoes extend at waist height under a soft pink-white LED canopy. Below the grow beds, you can hear the quiet circulation of water. This room produces food every single day of the year, regardless of frost, drought, or what the grocery store charges this week. If you are getting real value from this, right now is the moment to subscribe. I cover systems like this one: the real costs, the real outputs, the real failures, every single week on this channel. The system runs on a simple closed loop. Fish produce ammonia-rich waste. Beneficial bacteria convert that ammonia to nitrates. Plants absorb the nitrates and clean the water, and clean water returns to the fish tanks. You add fish feed. You harvest fish and plants. You top off water lost to evaporation, roughly 5 to 10% weekly. The fish feed the plants. The plants clean the water. The whole loop sustains itself. The honest challenge: aquaponics has a learning curve measured in dead fish. The bacterial colony driving the system takes 4 to 8 weeks to establish. Before that colony stabilizes, ammonia spikes can kill your stock. Plan for 6 months of active management before the system runs on autopilot. This is not set and forget in year 1. It is set and learn. My favorite feature: the protein math. A mature 1,000-gallon tilapia system produces 200 to 300 pounds of fish per year. At $7 to $14 per pound at current grocery prices, that is $1,400 to $4,200 in annual food value from one room inside your house. That number changes how you think about what a room is worth. Design 4, the Rainwater Independence Barndominium. A barndominium engineered from the foundation up to capture, store, filter, and recycle every drop of water that touches the property, eliminating dependence on municipal water for most domestic use. The specs: 2,100 square feet. A 10,000-gallon reinforced concrete cistern poured beneath the slab. Cistern meaning underground storage tank. Standing seam metal roof optimized for runoff. 1,000 square feet of roof at 1 inch of rainfall yields approximately 600 collectible gallons. A 5-stage filtration system. sediment pre-filter, carbon block, UV sterilization, reverse osmosis for drinking water, gray water loop, water from sinks, showers, and laundry, not toilets, diverted to subsurface drip irrigation. Rain garden swales along both long sides of the structure. Cistern infiltration installed. $22,000 to $38,000. Full build range. $265,000 to $330,000. A family of 4 in a moderate rainfall region can realistically meet 70 to 90% of water needs from this system. Municipal pressure has been down at the road for 11 days. A pump failure 2 miles north. Your neighbors are hauling water in jugs. You do not notice. Your cistern holds 10,000 gallons. Your gray water loop is keeping your raised beds green. You are not dependent on infrastructure you do not control. Rain hits the metal roof and flows to a first flush diverter, a device that automatically discards the first 10 to 15 gallons of any rainfall event, which carries roof dust and debris, and the clean remainder flows to the underground cistern. A demand pump pressurizes the house through the filtration stages. Gray water routes directly to subsurface irrigation. Rain garden swales capture overflow and recharge the soil slowly. The roof catches the rain. The tank stores it. The filters clean it. And the water you already use goes straight back into your land. The honest challenge: rainwater harvesting legality varies by state. Most U.S. states permit or actively encourage it as of 2026, but some restrict potable use or cap collection volumes. Verify your state statutes and your county health department position before you design this system. A $38,000 system your county inspector will not sign off on is not a system. It is a liability. My favorite feature, the first flush diverter. It costs $80 to $200. It is a piece of PVC pipe with a simple valve. It is a single component that separates a cistern producing clean water from one accumulating contamination over time. Smart design is not always expensive design. Design 5, the Net Zero Microgrid Barndominium. A Barndominium with a fully integrated solar array, battery storage bank, and ground source heat pump, geothermal, that produces more energy than it consumes annually and sells the surplus back to utility grid. The specs: 2,400 square feet. Solar array, 18 to 24 kilowatts of panel capacity. Battery storage, 40 to 60 kilowatt hours of lithium iron phosphate. LFP chemistry, safer and more cycle stable than standard lithium ion. Ground source heat pump exchanging heat with the earth at a constant 55 degrees Fahrenheit below the frost line, providing heating and cooling at 3 to 4 times the efficiency of a conventional HVAC unit. Federal investment tax credit as of 2026. 30% on solar, battery, and geothermal systems. Verify current eligibility with a tax professional. Full build range: $420,000 to $520,000. That is $130,000 to $230,000 more than the most affordable design in this video. I want you to sit with that number before I give you the rest. It is February. 8 inches of snow on the ground, 11 degrees outside. Your heat pump is pulling 55-degree warm from the earth below your feet. Your home is 70 degrees. Your battery bank is holding 32 kilowatt hours from yesterday's partial sun. You pull up your utility portal. Your meter is running backward. Solar panels convert sunlight to electricity. Surplus charges the battery bank. When full, surplus exports to the grid, and you receive a kilowatt-hour credit. After dark, the battery powers the house. The geothermal loop circulates fluid below the frost line. In winter, the heat pump concentrates earth warmth and delivers it inside. In summer, it reverses, dumping interior heat into the ground. The earth is simultaneously your heat sink and your heat source. The honest challenge: in high labor cost states, California, New York, Massachusetts, this bill can exceed $580,000. After tax credits, the effective energy system cost still runs $51,000 to $86,000. The break-even horizon on energy systems alone is 12 to 18 years. This is a long-term investment thesis, not a short-term savings play. If you are building for 5 years and selling, this level of integration does not pencil out. If you are building for 20 years on land you own, the math is real. My favorite feature, the battery bank during a grid outage. Most grid-tied solar systems shut off automatically when the grid goes down, a safety measure to protect utility workers. A battery-backed system with a transfer switch stays on. You are not in the outage. You are watching from a warm, lit house with a full refrigerator. That resilience cannot be priced on a spreadsheet. Honest truth. Before the outro, I want to be direct with you. These 5 designs are not for everyone, and you deserve to know that plainly. If you are building under $200,000, the Aquaponics Core and the Net Zero Microgrid are not your designs right now. The Passive Solar Stack and the Rainwater Independence Barndominium are where you get the most self-sufficiency per dollar in that range. If you are in a high-humidity coastal climate, the passive solar design needs modification. Do not build a zero mechanical cooling home in Houston or New Orleans without a serious conversation with a building scientist who understands your local climate behavior. If you have never managed livestock, a garden, or a mechanical system before, the Aquaponics Core will demand real learning in year 1. That is not a reason to avoid it. It is a reason to plan honestly for it. And if you are drawn to these designs because you want independence, from the grid, from the grocery store, from a utility bill, that instinct is rational and the technology to act on it exists right now. But independence from systems requires investment in other systems. You are not escaping maintenance. You are internalizing it. The people who thrive in these builds treat the house as a working property, not a passive shelter. If that framing appeals to you, you are the right builder for one of these designs. If this gave you something real to think about, hit like, drop your question in the comments. I read every single one. Your question might become the next deep dive on this channel. I'll see you in the next one.